Hi everyone, it's Amy at Strength Reverse. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to do a hashtag today, and it is hashtag court card favorites. This hashtag was started by Will at Atypical Tarot, and I saw it first on Jason's channel at Readings with Jason, so I will link both of those gentlemen in the description below. And this is when you go through many decks and you choose your favorite versions of each court card. Now, I've discovered that my little tarot family is just like I have friends that I have a small, close-knit circle. I don't have a lot of acquaintances. I have several close friends, and that's how I feel I am with my tarot cards too. I just have a few close friends, and so you've probably seen a lot of these decks before, but whatever. Now, Will went by rank, so all the pages, all the knights, but I feel called to do this by suit, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll start with Wands. What I picked for the Page of Wands is from the Japaridze Tarot, and it is the Jester of Fire. I love this guy. There's this clown, and this is this youthful enthusiasm and getting to know the qualities and the limits of his fire and the things that he can do, and discovering all of the places it can take him. And I really think it's important, at least I sometimes, when I really want something or I'm struggling with something, it's difficult to remember to be playful and to approach things in a playful way, and I like the playfulness of this card. For the Knight of Wands, I have two, and I have two for several of these. I really tried to edit. I left them out. I picked all of these last night, and I left them out overnight, and I did get rid of a couple this morning, but some of them stayed. The first one is from the Sacred Circle, and this card to me just has so much energy and movement and confidence, and it's just such a strong card. He's really following that fire and is sure of himself and is going to get this done. And that movement is true of a lot of knights. The other Knight of Wands is from the Titanic Tarot. And if you know what happened on the Titanic, when the ship started sinking, some of the men who were in the band or the orchestra just decided to play. So they're on the deck of the sinking ship playing. They knew they weren't going to make it. They knew they couldn't get in a lifeboat, and still they just knew that life was about their passion and their calling, and that that's what they could offer people at that time. The Queen of Wands was an easy choice for me. This is from the Robin Wood deck, and I have always loved this queen. This Queen of Wands, when I first got this deck in 96 maybe, this totally reminded me of my friend Tracy, and she looks like this too. She has blonde hair and she's just super confident, and I thought, this is Tracy. She's cosmopolitan, she's a business person, she can manage things, and she is that person who would get picked out of a crowd by a reporter to comment on the news, which has happened to her several times. She just has this energy about her and this competence and confidence about her. So that is the Queen of Wands. But also in the Titanic Tarot, which is my most recent tarot, I talked about this in another video. This is Violet Jessup, who was a nurse, and she actually survived all of the ship sinkings of the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic, maybe. Anyway, there were 3 sister ships, and they all met bad fates, and she survived all of them. So she's got to be in there. And then the King of Wands is from the Mystical Cats Tarot, and that is the Fire King. And I absolutely love this guy. He has been through so much. He comes out stronger. You see the little chameleon there, or the salamander who can go through the fire. He's extremely confident. He is just strength and energy, and I love that. So that is the wand suit. The next suit is swords, and I realized that all of my swords are from the Robin Hood deck. So I really connect with the suit of swords from that deck. The first one is the Page of Swords, which to me is a messenger, you know, innocence, just taking an idea and running with it, communication. I love the movement in that card. The next one is the Knight of Swords, and again, I love the movement here. This has always reminded me of the Archangel Michael. He's very fierce, and he's going to cut through any bullshit, and sometimes it's not always pleasant to be in his path, but it's like, this is happening. You know, he might be very blunt. He might say things in not so gentle ways, but at least things are going to move. I had a couple for the Queen of Swords. One, of course, is Robin Hood. And this card reminds me of, you know, the Queen of Swords is always, I guess, called, you know, a bitchy kind of card, but she's just very fierce and no nonsense. And the way that sword is in front of her, it reminds me that sometimes she might, if she's out of balance, really keep people at arm's length. So it will prevent you from getting close to her, or from her getting close to other people. So she has to be careful about that. And this one is from the Tarot of the Weird. And I love this Queen of Swords. Now, I don't like keywords, and this keyword is experience, and I don't like that. But when I see this Queen of Swords, she's going to fuck you up. And I love that she's wearing high heels and has this butter knife that she's going to, you know, like tear your heart out with. The King of Swords. Now, I love this King of Swords. To me, this is someone who is very duty bound, and he's willing to take on a lot, and he doesn't always acknowledge maybe his feelings, because he knows that he has priorities he puts above that, and he just does what he has to do. The Suit of Cups. The one I picked for the Page of Cups is the Sea Kitten from the Mystical Cats Tarot. This kitten is so playful and is playing in the water and just putting a little toe in, a little paw in, and keeping things light, and just seeing how the water acts and is getting acclimated to that. Now, I copied Jason, and for the Knight of Cups, I picked the one from the Lightseers deck. I love this Knight of Cups in that I hate this Knight of Cups. We have a love-hate relationship. The Knight of Cups, of course, can be a player. And I think maybe, like other knights, is a little more self-absorbed. To me, the knights are the teenagers of the tarot, and they don't always see beyond the end of their own nose. So he's very honest that he loves you, but also loves everyone else, but mostly himself. So to me, I look at this card and see Jason Priestley, and, you know, he thinks he's so hot, but it's like, dude, you're so 1990, okay? You're so 90210. The Queen of Cups, I chose two. One is from the Sacred Circle, and I love how she is immersed in the water. Queens, I think, are very inwardly focused, and this person is not afraid to be very emotional and to really immerse herself in what's in her inner life and how she feels with that. The other one I chose was the Queen of Tides in the Japaridze Tarot, and I chose this one because it's a slightly different aspect of this card. You see the Queen here, and she's dumping out her cup. And I think sometimes people who are very emotional or very empathetic or want to care for others sometimes don't keep enough energy for themselves. And so she is rushing to help others, but sort of spilling her own energy and not really carrying her own feelings with her or considering them. And that is something that the Queen of Cups needs to look out for. The King of Cups is from the Tarot of the Weird. I really like him. He has this big teacup. Now the key word is flow, whatever that means. I just kind of cover this up. But I really like that he's in front of all of this water. He is comfortable with the water and with the emotions. And the fact that he's going to just drink out of this big teapot, he's willing to feel all of these emotions, but he doesn't let them overtake him. So he sees them for what they are and is a little bit removed so that he can see them I guess I'll use the word rationally, but you know what I mean. Whereas the Queen of Cups is just immersed. He's going to keep himself a little more distant. For the Pentacles, I have 2 pages of Pentacles. One is from the Light Seers deck, and this, I really like that this person is in tree pose because it's kind of a deceptive pose in that it looks really easy, but it can be very difficult to keep your balance. But I also think of putting down roots when I see tree pose, and I like that this is like practice and a discipline, learning a discipline. And then I picked the Tarot of a Moon Garden because I really liked the playfulness of this Pentacles, just being in nature and seeing, you know, taking this globe and just seeing how it mirrors what's in nature and appreciating, seeing the beauty in things around you. I really like that one. And I liked this one more really than any of the other court cards in that deck. For the Knight of Pentacles, this one is called Earth Tom, and it's from the Mystical Cats Tarot. And I just see this cat, you know, rescuing this baby kitten and being helpful and being practical. And, you know, this is just the helper and getting things done and being of service to others. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, there are a lot of really beautiful cards from many decks. I do like the Robin Wood. This is a very Empress-y Queen of Pentacles, and the Empress card looks very similar. I like how she's very rich and lush growth, and there's kind of a hint of being like a hint of pregnancy or rebirth. But I just really think this is a beautiful card. And the other card I like for the Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of Gardens in the Japaridze deck. She's just so regal and grounded, and there are all these butterflies and this vine kind of growing, and it's like she is very connected. That's what I think of when I look at this card, just very connected. And finally, the King of Pentacles is from the Light Seers deck. I love him. you can see him as someone who's wealthy, who's accomplished, but he's also very down to earth, and he, just his hippy dippiness makes me think that, you know, even though he might have a lot of money, he's in jeans, he likes comfort, and he knows what's important in life. He hasn't lost sight of what's meaningful, and that is just sitting in your library with your friend, your companion, and reflecting on how lucky you are. I just made that up. Okay. You know, I was really thinking I was going to pick something from the Santa Muerte Tarot, but as far as court cards, none of them reached out and grabbed me. There are other decks that I didn't even look at. Some of these that I knew right away, and some of them I'm glad I had to think about this. So I would love to see some other VRs. I'm still trying to catch up on videos, but anyway, let me know what you think of my choices, and I would love to hear what you would choose or watch your video. So thanks, guys. I will see you next time.